down to round 8, and after a mild and blustery week the lakes had had a good stir up. Would this kick the roach and skimmers into feeding, or would the overnight rain dampen sport? And I've just chose to come and speak to Paul Trattles, just have a look at a couple of his rigs and then understand how he starts his lines on a general basis for each match. So Paul, if you don't mind showing us a couple of your rigs.
Yeah, my main matches, when my main rigs I fish during the matches, I fish a 0.3 gram float.
Okay.
Inch and a half, 2 inches over depth, and I put a strung out 5 strung out number 10s or 11s depending on which I go, to a size 22 F1 pellet hook to a 08 bottom.
Okay.
On my elastics, double 2 elastic, and I'll initially cup in a ball of ground bait on a positive line, probably at like 11 o'clock, with ground bait, dead maggots and a few pinkies, and then also I'll feed it a bit more negative line with maggot at 13 metres, and then my plan during the day is to keep looking over the lines after an hour or so and keep topping up my ground bait line with nuggets of ground bait as I go on. I find that the skimmers generally come after an hour and a bit. You'll start getting skimmers if they're there. I will fish the waggler today for the warmer weather and see how we go. So pretty much how I go about it. You know.
Okay.
I have a lighter rig set up with a 0.2 gram float, but exactly the same with a strung out number 11s to see what happens.
Okay.
And that's pretty much it. Nothing wild.
Cheers, Paul. We're just going to look at Paul's peg. So he's drew peg 31 on Lake 1, pretty much an open water peg, so he's got a decent waggler attack, and then obviously, like he's just talked us through, his pole lines. So we're just going to have a look at Paul feed his lines when the match kicks off. We're about 10 minutes now before we start. Thanks a lot, Paul.
Cheers.
So I'm just here with Steve Fern. He's drawn peg 7 on Lake 1. I'm just seeing how he started his match today. So Steve, you can just talk us through.
I've gone for 2 lines at 14.5 metres, one straight out, one across to that side. Put some ground bait in, let that settle for a while, and put a couple of feeder fulls in at about 25 metres, and I'll fish that out for an hour and see what happens really.
Okay.
Feed up a waggler line as well, just have a couple of chucks of that later on.
Okay, mate. What have you put any loose offerings in your ground bait lines?
I've just put a few pinkies in it and a few pellets, because I think I might get a few in there expanded later on today, but we shall see.
Is that with the weather being a bit warmer then?
Yeah, it's been warm for the last few days, so they might have a go on the pellet today. But,
okay.
Probably going to be mainly a maggot match again, I would have thought.
Okay, mate. Well, good luck, mate.
Thank you very much.
Cheers, Steve.
Cheers, bud.
Early signs Lake 2 was fishing well, with MPW taking some nice hide and roach on waggler tactics. Kev Hibbert catching roach on the feeder. J Gibb on peg 23 catching on the pole. Kev Burke also taking some nice stamp roach on pole tactics. And John Milligan opposite catching roach on the waggler. Early signs weren't good on Lake 1, with only the odd fish being caught. Back on Lake 2 and a battle seemed to be forming between Kev Hibbett on peg 12, taking some nice fish on pole tactics, and MPW probably taking some better stamp fish on the waggler. He seemed to be just edging it at the moment. Over on Lake 1 it was Callum Parker on peg 10 who seemed to be leading the way, catching some small stamp roach to his right hand side. So I'm just here with the MPW about halfway through the match now. So Mike, you seem to be doing it at the moment. How much weight do you think you've got at the moment?
I think we're over £7 now. Skimmers, hide, we've got a few hybrids, and we've got quite a few of the new roach. The fish have been on the waggle at the minute. We just had our first skimmer on the pole line, so hopefully if we can get them lined up, we can knock hell out of £10.
Nice one, mate. So I've just joined Kev a bit. We've got just over 2 hours left, and he's just starting to get a few fish, just picking one off each line. Rather than plundering a line, he's just nicking a fish off the line, moving to the line, nicking another fish. And he thinks that they're sort of backing off the bait at the moment. So he's just starting to put a few fish together. They're only small but plenty of bites, which is good. Over on Lake 1, a few fish had started to show. The wind had dropped, the temperatures had increased. Maybe the anglers would get a few bites in the last hour. Into the last hour and Steve Fern had started to pick up some decent skimmers, fishing expanders. Could he catch Callum Parker? Callum Parker looking over his shoulder, but still putting a few roach together. Would it be enough to secure the lake win? Back on Lake 2, and MPW and Kev Hibbett battling it out for the lake win. Who would win the battle when the scales came round to take the all-important lake win and 1 point? $12.3?
Yeah.
MPW 12.3. Get the video, mate, then I'll get a shot.
See them alright?
Yeah, that's better. £12.3. Well done, mate. Kev Hibbett, peg 12, lake 2.
Them is 10 ounces.
12 dead.
3 ounce. Let's have a look, Kev.
Very over close.
Yeah.
Think of there, don't you?
Kev Hibbett, £12 dead.
The scales won't take it off.
He's just done it. John Milliken, peg 10. One out there, John.
That's one of them good roach, isn't it?
Oh, I get £3 of mud on it.
In a right battle on this bank.
11.14.
I might be surprised if they're not.
J Gibb, peg 23, lake 2. Oh, loads of roach. J Gibb, £8 dead. Get it still as well, mate.